babes. I know. You're looking at me like, how is she still glowing in a town that thinks contour is a disease? Honestly, I ask myself the same thing every single morning when I wake up. And remember, there is no Sephora within 100 miles. Like, literally, not even a sad kiosk at the gas station. In the city, I had auctions. Sephora, Ulta, that Korean pop-up store that made my skin feel like a rich orphan. There was a Sephora on every corner like Starbucks, but for hope. Here, Carol, sweet misguided Carol, told me she buys her makeup at Dollar General. I'm not even mad, I'm just scared. The mascara I found there clumped faster than small town gossip. The blush looked like expired ham. And don't get me started on the lip liner that smells like divorce. But I adapt, I overcome, I bake in 94% humidity. And somehow, I still slay. Okay, so backstory for the new babes. I used to live in actual civilization like Atlanta, high rise, good coffee, real air conditioning. Then my dad decided to pivot his business. Translation, he ruined my life. Overnight, we went from Whole Foods to whole trailers. He said, it's just temporary, sweetie. That was 9 months ago. My bronzer expired waiting for that U-Haul to turn around. Now, we live in a place where Target is a rumor, and the nearest Sephora is probably in another time zone. I asked him once if we could drive to the city for my brow appointment, and he said, we can't afford gas. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't bankrupt the company. Why am I being punished? Just because he couldn't manage a crypto pet food startup doesn't mean I have to suffer with drugstore concealer. Honestly, child services should investigate. So like Carol. If you don't know Carol, she's this local legend who thinks camel leggings are a personality trait and uses hairspray as perfume. Anyway, Carol saw me the other day at the gas station because yes, we shop at gas stations now. She was like, Lynnie Sue, I love your lipstick. Is that from Dollar General too? I swear. I blacked out for a second. I was like, no, sweetie, this is Dior. And she blinked like I'd just spoken Latin. Apparently, in Pine Licks, luxury makeup means whatever didn't melt in someone's glove box. Their idea of skincare is baby wipes and hope. I once saw a woman, this is not a joke, using Vaseline as foundation. My pores filed a restraining order. But honestly, if I make it out of here without turning into a Crisco sculpture, it'll be a miracle. But it's fine. I blend through the pain. Okay, so I thought I'd try a DIY spa day because, you know, self-care is vital, especially when you're living in a mosquito-infested aesthetic crime scene. I lit a candle, put on lo-fi beats, laid out my products. 5 minutes in, power outage. Apparently, Carol plugged in a crock pot and fried half the trailer park. I did my skincare routine by flashlight, which is not the vibe. Then I tried a sheet mask, except the humidity was so thick, it slid off my face like betrayal. Mid-mask, I heard Bubba outside yelling, "Them's my chickens!" And I'm like, babe, I'm literally steaming right now. I deserve silence. I deserve eucalyptus mist. Not a soundtrack of livestock and gunshots, and then a raccoon on the windowsill, judging me. Probably Clyde. Honestly, that little bastard has better lashes than me and it's getting personal, but I stayed calm. I adjusted my ring light. I reapplied, because that's what beauty warriors do. We glow through it. So babes, grab your matcha or your trauma blanket, because this one's a ride. I agreed to go on a date. I know. Brave, bold, stupid. It was with this guy who works at, wait for it, a tire fire salvage yard. That's a job here. That's a thing. Anyway, he picks me up, not in a car. In a lifted truck that looked like it ate other trucks. It had no doors, or music, or suspension. Just bass, mud, and the faint smell of regret. He was wearing a t-shirt that said, "I love bacon" in blood red Comic Sans. That was his fashion statement. I asked where we were going. He said, and I quote, "somewhere romantic. You'll love it." Spoiler alert, it was a catfish pond with lawn chairs. Itego's in heels. There were bugs the size of my self-worth. He brought a jar of pickled eggs. Not wine, not even soda. Eggs, in vinegar, in heat. And he called it an appetizer. But oh babes, it gets worse. So I fake a phone call, obviously. I'm like, OMG, my grandma fell off a Peloton. Whatever, he offers to drive me home. But by home, he means his home, which was a camper behind a bait shop with a flag that said, "Don't tread on my lawnmower." He said, "You want to come in? I got Netflix." Spoiler alert, he did not have Wi-Fi. He handed me a DVD in 2025. It was Fast and Furious 3. But it was burned onto a disc with Sharpie handwriting. And then he goes, "I got a couch bed." I said, "I got pepper spray." Babe, I ran in heels. I sprinted past his feral chickens, down a gravel path, into oncoming trauma. My setting spray was dripping. My soul was cracking. I called my dad. He said, "I told you to give local boys a chance." I said, "I gave him a chance." He gave me pickled eggs. Never again. Okay, but like, can we talk about the gas station situation here? Because apparently in Pine Licks, you're just expected to touch the pump yourself. I'm sorry, what is this? The Stone Age? In the city, I had full service. They pumped it, they cleaned my windshield, they sometimes complimented my nails. Here, I pulled up wearing heels, obviously, and some man yells, "You know how to use that, sweetheart?" I was like, "Do I look like I know how to operate medieval farm equipment?" "Babe, it smells like divorce and carpal tunnel. My nails are almond-shaped and emotionally unstable. I'm not risking a chipped cuticle because this town doesn't believe in self-worth or scented wipes. And don't even get me started on the card readers." Now, last time I tapped my Amex, the screen flashed, "Declined!" and then caught fire. I just drove off. If my tank's empty, maybe that's God telling me to stay home and manifest luxury. If so, once upon a tragedy, I thought maybe a mechanic would be, useful. Like, my car makes noises, he makes them go away. Balance. Synergy. A Hallmark movie? Spoiler alert, no. First red flag, he called my contour engine sludge. Said makeup is just like carbon buildup. And then he took a rag, an actual grease rag from his shop and tried to wipe my face. Babes, I have serums more expensive than his entire toolkit. Second red flag, he said my lipstick shade reminded him of transmission fluid. Like, ew, sweetie peewaws. And the final straw, he told me with a straight face, "You don't need Sephora. You just need a torque wrench and confidence. No, I need Charlotte Tilbury and therapy." That was the day I realized mechanics fix cars, not lives. And definitely not this face. Never again. Babes, let me tell you about the county fair incident. So I show up, obviously overdressed heels, crop top, flawless glow. I brought my makeup bag because touch-ups are not optional when you're surrounded by fried butter and tractor fumes. At the gate, this man with a vest that said security, which lol, he looks in my bag and gasps. I'm like, "Sweetie, it's setting spray, not TNT." And he goes, "Ma'am, we can't allow explosives on fairgrounds." Explosives? For a little spray bottle? Babe, it's literally just mist. And the crazy part, I saw a kid walk in right after me holding a giant toy chainsaw covered in powdered sugar. Nobody cared. But me, I'm the danger. They made me leave my whole makeup bag at the gate, so I had to walk around with nothing. Do you even understand how scary that is? No powder, no touch-ups, just raw skin in public. And the worst part, the Ferris wheel photos. Without setting spray, my face melted faster than a funnel cake in July. I looked tired, I looked shiny, I looked mortal. Honestly, babes, it was the darkest day of my life. Okay, so can we talk about fashion crimes in this town? Because babes, it's not just bad, it's illegal. Like yesterday, Carol showed up at the diner wearing pajama pants with flip-flops to lunch. That's not a look. That's a cry for help. Then there's Traver. "Sweetie, a tank top with the sides cut all the way down? That's not a shirt. That's a napkin with commitment issues." And Bubba, don't get me started. He wore a tee that said "BBQ is my love language" with mustard stains. Imagine thinking condiments are couture. And the camo. Oh my God, the camo. Babe, you're not hiding from paparazzi. You're hiding from soap. It's giving, I got lost in Bass Pro and never came back. Meanwhile, I'm out here serving looks in an actual skirt. And people stare like I'm the weirdo? Sweetie, I am the fashion industry here. And I'm doing charity work just by existing. Okay, babes, that's literally all the trauma I can relive today. Honestly, Pine Lips keeps trying to break me, but newsflash, I don't break. I just get prettier. So if you enjoyed my suffering, and I know you did, hit that like button. Subscribe, because this face is free entertainment and you're welcome. Turn on notifications, because next week, I might finally expose the truth about Carol's homemade mascara. Spoiler alert, it's motor oil. Anyway, stay flawless, babes, even if you live in a dump like this.